Now, is this general admission yet, or are you all just the sponsors? Give yourselves a huge round of applause. Thank you so much for making this convention possible. Surely. Magnificent. Any words of wisdom for us, Charlie? How's the con going for you?
The con is great. Thank you for coming to my convention. Hooray. I'm very tired. No, thank you guys so much for coming. I said it at opening ceremonies, and I can't say it enough. We could not do this without every single one of you, all the way from regular badge holders to, of course, our very valuable sponsors. Just a quick little statistic for you guys. Sponsor, patron, and spirit badge sales accounted for something like 72% of our total income this year. So when I say the sponsors, really, we could not do this without you, like, I could not mean that more. So thank you very much to every single one of you.
Next year, we need like a 3 or 4 hour panel where it's just Charlie taking a nap that he desperately needs. That's the con chair. Okay. I've never been to one of those. I'm not a chair. I never thought I was invited. So we're going to be getting started fairly soon once everyone has filtered in. I'm peering to see if there's a line still. Anyway, you're all here for the Guest of Honor panel, right? Excellent. Which is not me, by the way. We'll bring them up in just a moment. But talk amongst yourselves, and we will see how the line situation is going, and then we will get started. Did you all bring questions? Okay, you have about half an hour to think of some questions, because we're gonna kick things off with, the perennial favorites, and then we will open it up to the floor if folks have questions for our wonderful guests. Who has been, I'm curious, for whom is this their first pony convention? Outstanding, welcome. Oh, fantastic. Okay, how many people have been to more than, 3 conventions? Raise the hands. More than 5? More than 10? More than 15? More than 20? More than 25? I feel like I'm in auction mode already, but this is amazing. Still a hand at more than 20. Wow. I mean, I'm seeing the Equestria LA shirt, so obviously you've been to a good number of these. Ben, okay. Right, let me just get a thumbs up from the door. Is there anyone else out there? Door people, we're good to go? Awesome, thank you very much. Then let's get this. We're good to go in the back. Also, a huge round of applause, please, for our wonderful door and security and our AV crew who are making all of this possible. Without further ado, let's bring up our wonderful guests of honor, and I will take a seat. First up, we have everyone's favorite falling over on stage. First up, we have Cole Howard.
Can I sit next to you?
You can sit wherever you like.
Absolutely, I'm going to sit right next to you. Perfect seat.
You can sit as far from me as possible if you feel more comfortable that way. Next up, we have, here we go. This was the intro line. Everyone's favorite yak, Katrina Salisbury. You're wherever you like.
I don't want to be next to you.
That's fair. I mean, neither do I, but it felt rude to say so.
I'll do it because no one else will. Just kidding. I love you.
That joke went down like a lead balloon. So moving right along, let's bring out the one and only Racquel Belmonte. And last but certainly not least, the most innocent and kindest and gentlest and least evil character, surely, in the entire show, the voice of Cozy Glow, Sunni Westbrook. So,
Least evil, I like that.
least evil. By certain metrics, I mean. Let's kick things off, because this is kind of a special con. I know Katrina, I know Sunni, both of you have been to various in-person conventions in the past.
Just a few.
Just a few. You're old hands at this by now. But for Racquel and for Cole, you have done some online conventions in the year that we must never speak of. But this is your very first in-person pony convention.
Yes, indeed. Yes, it is true. He's not wrong. They're not wrong. Not at all.
Are you excited to be here?
Thrilled. Positively. Yeah, this is wonderful. It's so nice to do this outside of the comfort of my home, which is a strange thing to say, but I mean it earnestly, genuinely. Yeah, I'm wearing pants for the first time at one of these things.
Oh, no. Yeah, it's nice to not have like 7 different lamps and like a couple of boxes in your laptop and a microphone. This is cool. This is very nice. I almost knocked the table over. I'm so sorry.
You're fine, you're fine.
So excited.
So,
She's not used to being out of the house.
I don't know how.
I don't think any of us are quite sure how to do that anymore, but thank you all for coming out as well. How many people, this is your first PonyCon since the year that must not be named? Yeah?
Wow.
Good on you for all coming out.
Incredible.
And thank you for taking precautions,
Yes.
being vaccinated,
Amazing.
masking up. It's good to see you all again. So my first question is for Sunny and for Katrina. Do you have advice, words of wisdom to these convention newcomers? And have you warned them yet about the initiation rituals?
In the spirit of true evilness, we shall not mention the initiation.
Oh, no,
rituals.
of course
I feel
not.
like I
You'll
blocked
figure
it out of my
when it
mind.
presents itself.
We don't speak of those rituals.
We don't speak of them.
They got to figure it out for themselves.
But no, in all seriousness, what advice would you give these two? Did you give them any advice? Did they come to you beforehand, or did you think that you'd let them jump in at the deep end?
No, I said meet me at the airport. Bye. The vendor halls. Go through the vendor halls. But they've done that this morning. We'll do it again the rest of this weekend. It's one of like my favorite parts of it is going through and just checking all the different art and plushies and clothing. Thank you, Sophie. It's just there's so much fun. 2019, I got my favorite pillow, a pillow of Ein from Cowboy Bebop. Yes, Cowboy Bebop fans. It's just, there's so much fun. Yeah.
And you finally got your Yona plushie in the last couple of years
I
as well,
got my
didn't you?
Yoda plushie. I accidentally left her in Vancouver. I'm so sorry. I know. She's the most adorable little plush from Hibiscus Stitch. So cute. I'm so glad that I finally got one.
Now, when you say you left it in Vancouver, do you mean, in your home, or did you leave it at the airport?
No, it's at home.
Okay.
She's like right atop of the fireplace beside a bottle of wine. She's happy. Yeah.
You'll get back and that bottle of wine will be smashed.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to cleaning it up, but she's just angry I forgot her there. It makes sense. I get it.
Sunny, how about you? Words of wisdom?
I really like your advice on the vendor hall. I got some great Christmas gifts while I was there this morning. And then also make sure you get some sleep while you're here so you can really enjoy the next day as well. And then one of the things I really like to do at the conventions is make friends with non-convention people in the elevator. They're like, so you're with the rainbow people? Yes, I am with the rainbow people. And it was so awkward. We came down in the elevator and I was standing next to Bears fans with my Packer shirt on, and if you're local, you understand. I'm like, don't give me attitude. You're on my home turf. Second of all, you probably drove down with Illinois plates. You'll get yours. And yes, we are with the rainbow people. We're just all about kindness, so soak it up and enjoy it while you can. I don't know. I think it's fun to do that.
Now, you said this is your home turf. You're from Wisconsin originally.
I am. I'm from about an hour and a half west in Verona, Wisconsin, where the Epic Health Electronic Medical Record Company is. Of course, when I was growing up, it was a giant cornfield, but now it's this huge company. So yeah, I absolutely love Wisconsin, and I'm so happy to be invited to Milwaukee. This is fantastic.
It's your home convention. And then the rest of you I'm up here with a bunch of Canadians, yes?
They're all Canadian.
Canadian,
That's right.
Yeah.
From the Great White North, eh?
Yeah. Snow.
Oh, lots of that up there, eh?
Yeah,
Snows.
you're from Vancouver. You cannot talk to these people
Hey,
about
we got
snow.
snow on them mountains up
We
there.
have snow.
You seen it?
We go snowboarding.
It begins. We just need some battle royale music, and I can just let them go at it. Okay, so let's talk about your upbringings a little bit, because tomorrow we have the script reading panel. Vivid Syntax has written another wonderful script, and you'll be reading that off, and then we're going to have a Q&A after that, where I thought we could delve into kind of tradecraft and acting and so on and so forth. But I would like to ask you a little bit more about your lives, because I think we have a tendency, well, not impertinent personal details, but social security numbers, that kind of thing.
My mother's maiden name.
I emailed you all that earlier.
Your first car and its color?
But no, I think there is a tendency amongst fans to put folks on a pedestal, and that's warranted in many cases, especially since you're all cool people with wonderful jobs. Yes, I'm assuming the audience agrees with me on that. Don't leave me hanging. Applaud if you do.
I agree with that. Yeah.
But one of the things I've found doing these panels over the years is that for as much as we are fans of these individuals, they all have people that they look up to and that they are fans of. And so I want to kick things off by asking about that. What properties, TV shows, films, games, books, especially given the last year where you may have had more time to indulge in those things than you would have necessarily wanted, what are you fans of? And we'll start with Cole.
Fantastic. All right. Well, I think I decided that I wanted to be a voiceover actor when I watched Mrs. Doubtfire. And at the beginning of the movie, Robin Williams is doing like ADR for this smoking bird. And I remember watching it going like, what? People do that? And then after that, I just started inhaling like any behind the scenes stuff. Like I think Spirited Away had a terrific like Foley thing where they did Foley like live like sounds. They had like that feature, and I just thought it was so fascinating. So I think Robin Williams was probably the biggest like celebrity. But honestly, like my parents, both of them, like great at accents. My whole family loved doing bits, so it was always like doing accents around the table. Like, you're cleaning up, are you gonna go? Like, who's doing the dishes? Carl, get down here. And it was always that, and it just like permeated through my life. And then I just kept stumbling into things like theater, and I met people, and they said, go do this thing, go try a voiceover thing. And honestly, like the biggest thing was just saying yes to stuff, especially as a kid, when it was just like, I don't know, do you want to be a part of this play? It was like, yes, I get to miss school. That sounds awesome, And then I met someone through there. They're like, try this workshop. So I did it, and then it just kept spiraling, and every time I felt like, all right, maybe it's time to give up on the dream. Like maybe it's time to go and find a Joe job or something. Something just comes out of nowhere, and just because I want it desperately. It's my favorite thing in the world to do. And so I'm just going to keep doing it until the wheels fall off, which will be in 6 months. Follow that, idiot.
Ooh. The gauntlet's been thrown down, so Katrina.
I can't follow that. What have I been indulging in the last few years? Really dark, messed up stuff, to be honest, which probably was not a great idea, but I enjoyed it. So I watched all of Invincible, which I thought was incredible.
Got at least a couple of fans.
Yeah.
No?
The finale, you guys, it's still stuck in my head. It won't leave. The Boys, too, I guess, just really dark superheroes. But also, Tuca and Birdie, which is fun. Yes, Baldo knows. I haven't caught up with season 2 yet. I need to do that still. I'm so excited. I started playing Mass Effect for the first time. Yeah. You guys, I played it so much in one weekend that my vision became completely blurry. Like, I'm not kidding. I had to go to the optometrist. I know. So then I had to take a little bit of a break. So I'm now finally on 2. Taking my time with that. I'm a Liara girl. I love her. Yeah.
I'm just shocked that you're cheating on Overwatch with Mass Effect.
I've kind of put down Blizzard for a little bit.
Ah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Azeroth had me for a while, but I'm like, no. I'm going to step away from that for a bit. We'll see if some changes happen.
Good call.
Yeah. Yeah, so I am cheating on Overwatch. That's what I've been playing. That's what I've been watching. It's all dark. Yeah. I'd really love to play a villain, dark villain someday. I want to follow in Sunny's
Yes,
footsteps.
you would. It's awesome.
We're going to delve into that a little bit
Ooh.
further on down the line, but let's talk to Racquel. What have you been up to?
Oh, what have I not been up to? A lot. I moved recently, but during the event that we will not talk about or say the actual thing, I moved in with my parents. So I was living at home and doing, that sounded so Canadian. And I was basically just doing what they do. I was working a lot, and what did I do? Just watch a lot of the news with them, and what else did they have cable. I didn't have cable for the longest time. Food Network, Guy Fieri, mwah,
God.
I love. I do comedy, and comedy, improv, and sketch, so trying to find avenues to do that during that time was interesting. So I would do online stuff. Yeah, I wish I could say I played video games, but maybe you guys can all teach me a thing or two about what to do. The last video game I played was like a Mary-Kate and Ashley magical mystery mall. Oh, did they ever have a video game? They also had a Game Boy game, and I played that too. I was a 10.
I want to
Anyhow,
applaud you for admitting that in this particular audience.
I feel like I just lost everybody.
Can we add that to the video game room?
Yeah. What else you want to know? Did I go to Second City? You wish. I did, actually. But I did just move to Toronto. So that is a thing that I did or have been doing.
Very cool. Thank you.
It's so rough. And I also watched Tuca and Birdie. It's so good. Season 2 is so good. Oh.
Thank you, Adult Swim. I will watch it here.
Yeah, I can't remember anything I watched. It is such a blur. I rewatched all of The Simpsons. Is that cool to say?
Yeah.
A lot of hours.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
Good game?
Yeah.
Isn't that, what are they up to now? Season 20, 28,
No, they're
29,
like
30 now?
31.
Oh, goodness. Whew.
Yeah.
That's commitment. 31 seasons worth. Damn.
I had
Every episode's
so much
perfect,
time.
too.
I have no quip for that. I'm just like, wow. Sunny, what have you been up to, and what are you a fan of?
Okay, you guys, if we could just keep this between us because nothing I did was cool. I don't play video games because I have this thing and I can't, I use my computer mouse upside down. So anytime I try to make the controller go that way, it goes that way. And I find the whole situation very frustrating, so I'm not a video game girl. So over the pandemic, I really practiced my craft of making macaroni and cheese, which sounded really fun. I did not make craft macaroni and cheese. I learned how to make macaroni and cheese from scratch with I find Gouda works really well. And I'll take any suggestions later for how to make a nice bechamel sauce, so thank you. And again, not cool. My husband and I binged watched the Gilmore Girls. Well, because look, I liked, Breaking Bad and dark TV, and real life was so dark. We're like, okay, where's a cheerful place we can go to? My Little Pony, obviously. And it's like, there's 9 seasons of the Gilmore Girls. There are no stakes. There are no consequences on this show. It was fantastic.
There are
it's like Melissa
stakes?
McCarthy making cupcakes.
Lorelai?
Oh, that guy from This Is
Rory?
Us was in there. It was fantastic. Yeah. So it was light. It was fluffy. It was. We tried to just keep it cheerful and light.
I just love the dichotomy here that we have the player of the evil character watching the light and fluffy stuff, and the player of the fun, quite fun and upbeat character going the darkest possible route. That
If it involves
Loved it.
violence, I'm watching it.
So since we are amongst friends in here, and they can all keep a secret, and since the theme of this con is a celebration of cosplay and Halloween is coming up, I would love to know about Halloween outfits, Halloween costumes that you've.
Can
Yeah, well,
I
it's-
just jump right in?
Sure.
Because I love my Halloween costume so much. Okay. I always do Little Red Riding Hood because then I can have the basket instead of my purse. So I can have my phone in it and a bunch of candy. And I got a cape on Etsy. And then my dog is the big bad wolf.
Aww.
And thank you. And then my husband is the friendly woodsman who saves us. But if he's working and it's just me and the dog, that works too. And then if we go to a party and the dog can't come, my husband dresses up as the big bad wolf, as grandma. So he's got the nose and the nightgown and the tail sticking out, and we think we're hilarious.
I don't know what I'm going to be this year, but I think one of the best costumes I have ever had. My cousin and I dressed up like Alvin and Brittany from Alvin and the Chipmunks, and then I used the hair piece that I wore to make a Harry Styles pumpkin the year after. That was pretty cool for me. I think I might be Madeline. I bought a beret, and I don't know what to do with it. I don't know if I'm brave enough to wear it, so I might break it in on Halloween.
Brave enough.
I hated
Right?
that,
Okay.
and with that, I'm done.
Got a few options. I did get everything. I just don't know which version or what I want to do. I bought Tiny Tina's from Borderlands. Her mask, her bunny ears, her outfit, and then I want my partner to go as Krieg. And then we just adopted 2 kittens, and I'm like, how can we dress them up as psychos? And then they're just gonna run around the house, and I'll do their voices for them. We'll just video it. Or if anybody is a fan of Big Trouble in Little China, I want my boyfriend to be Jack Burton. I really want to be Jack Burton, but he's got the shirt, so he can be Jack Burton. And then I would be Gracie Law. So, but I think Tiny Tina's gonna win. Fun game. Oh yeah, I did. We can use that. We went as Bob and Tina from Bob's Burgers one year.
Outstanding.
So you can find the picture online. I could not see in the glasses. I did the full Tina glasses, and I was blind. I could not see. So can't do that
You
again.
don't have to wear prescription lenses. They
No.
make fake glasses.
I put white paper in them and then cut out the tiny little holes to do the cartoon eyes.
Way to commit. I like this.
And I was in a
like
dark room the last time I wore that. It was not good.
Dedication.
Yeah. I
She's
take
method.
Halloween very seriously.
She's method with Halloween.
Absolutely.
Nah.
Yeah. She's classically trained.
Classically trained in Halloween.
Classically trained in Halloween. My Halloween costumes all got so much worse when I stopped living with my mom. I don't think I've had a good Halloween costume since I moved out. But I will say the best Halloween costume far and away was maybe grade 8 or something, and I was a huge fan of Dragon Ball Z. Just like my favorite thing growing up. And I wanted to go as Trunks. And my mom, I swear, in one night, she sewed me a Capsule Corp jacket, which was like the perfect length, the coolest thing, had a sword on my back, which my teachers didn't like. Dyed my hair purple, had the perfect middle split. It was so cool. I thought I looked so cool. And if you look at pictures, I did, but not as cool as I thought I did. Which is kind of a fun thing.
That's how I feel about every photo I've ever taken.
Right, yeah. I'm trying to think. Oh, and then every costume I did when I was a wee little baby was precious. It was a little dinosaur and stuff. Oh my gosh.
Little vintage pumpkin.
Yeah.
That's
Classic.
Yeah, I think-
Classic.
think-
Vintage pumpkin.
Yeah,
pumpkin
one
at least
year,
once.
a scary clown thing. It was great.
Yeah.
It was fun with big puffy pants. Yeah. But,
One year we
but since I've
recycled
been
my
grown
angel
up,
costume, and I got to be Princess Leia, classic Princess Leia.
very
Thank you
nice.
very much.
I'm trying to think of. Oh, I did a couple's costume once as Jesse and James. A lot of hair dyeing. I'm seeing. It was great.
Which were you, Jesse or James?
I am sad to say that I was James because I think I'd make a great.
Okay,
Jesse.
you say
Is that
Jesse
Team
James.
Rocket?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
Blast
should have
Off
known
team.
that,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
You
I mean-
say Jesse James, I just think cowboy. Why would he have purple hair?
Because he's amazing. Because they're the best duo of all time.
You've still got 9 days if you want to, fix that catastrophic mistake and
I might
be
have
Jesse
to.
this year.
I may have to. I can dig up that costume
Do you want my
again.
Tina costume?
I could do that too.
My Tina costume.
Yeah, just give me hand-me-down costumes. Yeah, whatever worked for you, I'll just take it the next year.
Great.
So, Cole, you touched on this a little bit already, talking about what brought you into the world of performance, but I'd like to open that up to the rest of you as well and talk about how you first discovered your love of performing and the route that you took. And I want to actually start with you, Sunny, because I know that your route involved fighting back against that instinct a little bit. So what can you tell us about that?
Well, Cole was talking about how he was first introduced to voice acting. The first time I understood the concept of voice acting, walk with me. This is, okay. So you know how you can get like baseball cards? I got Jaws from the movie Jaws. You could buy Jaws movie cards with bubblegum in them, and it would have fun facts about the movie Jaws. I was obsessed with these trading cards. And one of them showed a scene. It was 2 little boys walking down the beach, and the fun fact on the back was the audio wasn't picked up when these 2 boys were talking, so their audio was dubbed over by 2 adult women. Like, that sounds amazing! Like, how can grown-up women sound like boys? I don't know. It's just the strangest thing. How could that ever possibly happen? So I was like, I always kind of had that in the back of my mind, and then I grew up watching like news radio and reruns of WKRP in Cincinnati, and I loved radio. And as a little kid, I have asthma, so as a little kid, I didn't go out and play a lot. I would stay in, and I would listen to old radio shows and listen to records, and because we didn't have cable, so it was a lot of getting entertainment and exercising my imagination through sound. But I grew up in southern Wisconsin. We're not actors, right? Like, that's all for Drew Barrymore and Gwyneth Paltrow and anyone who's Steven Spielberg's your godfather. That's not what real people grow up and do. So I went to university for, biotech and how to make fancy seeds and corn, and worked in a biotech company. I worked for a pharmaceutical company, and the recession hit, and I had to change careers. And I'm like, I'm gonna do that radio thing. So I networked, and I met a bunch of radio people, and I'm living in Las Vegas, Nevada at this time, and I'm talking to the radio people, and they're like, you're insane, radio's dead. It's all Ryan Seacrest and syndication. We go in for 15 minutes and record 8 hours of stuff, and we're out of here. We're all getting into commercials and voiceover. I'm like, ooh, what's that? It's like, 4th floor, women's shoes and lingerie. Of course, elevators don't talk to us anymore, but so that kind of started the thought and the process, but I was in Las Vegas where they don't do animation, and I was lucky enough to marry a Canadian and end up in Vancouver, and poof, here we are. Just a short 25-year journey.
Racquel, you look terrified, so yes, I'm going to pick on you.
I was like, should I go next?
You can go next. Yes, please do.
So I got into voice acting essentially because I was bad at everything else. So I come from a family of sports guys. Like, literally everybody does sports, and I could not. I was very bad at it. I hated everything I tried. It was not working for me. Then I tried dance, was very bad at dance, but then I tried musical theater. And I think the teacher noticed, like, oh, she likes the acting portion. So she talked to my mom and was like, hey, you should put Racquel in an acting class. So I did that, and then from there, we had a substitute teacher one acting class. And she was like, you sound so weird for a 12-year-old. And I thought, yeah, okay, cool. And she suggested I meet her friend, who is a voice actor and a voice coach. And then from there, and Sunny, I'm pretty sure that's where I met you.
I was going to say, I wanted to follow up with you on this.
We should talk about
We
it.
should talk about this. And I think I took classes from your auntie.
You did.
There
yes,
you go.
My fake auntie. So Marcy Goldberg, was my voice coach.
She's also a pony. Look her up.
Yeah, she is fantastic. And from there, I took a workshop, and I was like, wow, people do this? This is people's jobs? They don't just go and play sports, and this is a hobby you can, well, at first for me it was a hobby because I was a child. I didn't understand work ethic and voice acting, but yes. So I did all these workshops, and then I got an agent, have been with him since, she became my auntie. We did a workshop. And then actually, you wanna know something funny? I remember being 14 years old, and I think this is okay to say, and I'm not gonna get sued. I remember auditioning as a young teen for the original My Little Pony cast. But I didn't understand. I went in my school uniform. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. So it's very cool. I don't know. This is very cool in a very interesting way, having that in the back of my brain. Oh, you were there. There was a group, a big group of people. I think it was at GGRP. It's a studio in Vancouver. Will I get sued for saying that? No.
No, that's
Swear to
totally cool.
God, if any
No
of you
one's,
say
no one's
anything.
recording. It's all good.
But anyways, yeah, here we are. 30 years old and still doing it. That's something I did. I turned 30 during the
Happy birthday, belatedly.
I almost said it. And I did it. Thank you for the round of applause. My body needs it. Yeah.
When was it, if I may ask?
When was it?
Yes.
September 5th.
Okay. That's not too long ago. So shall we embarrass her tremendously?
Yes. Embarrass me.
1 and a 2 and a 3 and a happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
The best day of my life.
Happy belated birthday to
Happy birthday to you.
Thank you. Foley, that was beautiful. Yes, you were correct in standing up. No, thank you. That was gorgeous.
Be insufferable after this.
What was that?
Nothing.
Something you wanted to share with the class?
Said she's going to be insufferable after this. After this.
Cole, can I have a word with you?
Let's talk.
Yeah.
I'll stall. Talk.
No, Katrina, you were next anyway. Tell me about getting into voice acting.
My first role was at the age of 5. I played Sneezy in a children's version of Snow White. It was a riveting performance. Really, like those sneezes, Sir Anthony Hopkins would be so proud. I think I just knew I wanted to do it from there, to be honest, because I learned the entire play. My dad has a video of me like walking around to the other 5-year-olds whispering their lines because they forgot them and like pointing to where people needed to go for their blocking. So my little like dwarf outfit on.
Your true calling is to be a director.
Honestly, I mean, I've made one film. I don't know. It was a lot of work. But I really liked it from there on. And then I just I dabbled in classes throughout high school, did musical theater as well, and was like, yeah, this is fun. And thought about doing like a 9-to-5 job and was just like, nope, I just don't have it in me. I did think at one point like biology something might be cool, but I'm not a class type. So I took a year off after high school and was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna play my video games and eat pizza with my friends. Nothing matters, it's all good. And then my parents were like, no, you wanna act. Like honestly, I owe them so much because they were like, you wanna act, you have to go audition for a school and get in, or at least go do something acting related. You need to do it. You can't just sit here and have it come to you. I was like, oh, yeah, I mean, you guys are right. So I went and I originally went for on camera, because I was like, oh, that's acting, right? And then there was a voiceover portion of the program where I found out like I could sound like a 4-year-old. I was like, oh, that's cool, I guess. Yeah, neat. And the more I did voiceover, the more I loved it. And to me, like, naturally, I'm just better at voiceover. I'm a very animated person, so I fit in there nicely. And yeah, I just kind of took off from there. Auditioned until I finally got a job. It took a long time. So
I saw Katrina's name on the audition sign-in sheet for about a year before I ever met her. Like, who is this Katrina chick, and why are we always auditioning for the same roles?
And then we met at a McDonald's commercial.
Oh, that's right. There were so many women in the waiting rooms. Like, oh, you're that Katrina girl.
That's Sunny? Oh my God. I didn't get it.
Neither did I.
We still have to find this McDonald's lady. But yeah, it was probably Alicia. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, that's how I kind of came into it, I guess. And
Now, you mentioned preferring voiceover to on-camera work, but I know that I'm fairly sure at least one of you has done some on-camera work, but I'm also thinking that Cole, you've done theater work. I know, Racquel, you've done a lot of improv and stand-up and sketch.
I just got into on-camera during the panini, or whatever we're going to call it.
Panini?
The panini.
I love it. The pandemic is now the panini. Canon.
Panama. I don't know. Yeah. That was
So,
cool.
Do you find those skill sets sort of overlap? Does one reinforce
definitely.
the other? Is there one that you, I mean, you said you prefer voice acting, but this is for all of you. From the different types of
better at
performance
it.
that you've done, do you feel most at home in voice acting? Is that why it's the sort of, I'm assuming that's why it's the bulk of your career,
Yeah.
but I mean, do you like taking breaks and doing other forms of performance? How do you not get tired of it, I guess, is what I'm asking. No,
One
that's a
of
stupid
the-
question. Let me think of a better one
No,
than that.
no.
No, but like one of the things about
Question.
How do you find balance in your performance work? That's a slightly less stupid way of putting it.
I don't know what you mean by find balance, but like the difference between on camera and voice. So when you're watching TV and you look at someone, you're like, they're not a very good actor, but why is that? There's a level of being self-conscious in front of the camera, and there's a level of being completely focused on the person you're in the scene with. And see how she's nodding her head at me? You can't do that on camera. You have to sit there very, very still and think very intense thoughts.
It has to be in your eyes, which is really hard.
Right, because the camera, the camera is right there, and you know we're kind of animated people. My mouth moves a lot when I talk, and I talk with my hands, and I move my face a lot, and you can do that behind a microphone. Like, acting is acting, but there's different, very specific technical skills for each. Like, how far away from the microphone are you supposed to be? Am I supposed to have it here? Can you hear me if I'm, no. So like where to be with the microphone, keeping your feet still while sounding like you are running or jumping. Whereas on camera, acting is acting, but you need to have a stillness and a calm. Yeah, there's just different aspects to it. And I like the yelly, expressive-y thing. And there's more comedy. And on camera stuff, God, somebody's always dying on camera or sick.
That's what I just did.
Yeah. or, you know, anyway, I like the voice.
That's why I like comedy. Sorry, were you about to speak?
No.
You can go.
No, it's fine.
No, I'd love for you to
It's
go.
fine.
We're a bunch of voice actors.
I'm going to interrupt you later.
I'm really scared
And,
being in the middle right
Start
now.
your thing, and then I'll interrupt.
Okay. This is why I like comedy so much.
Great point, Rack.
Oh my
And I just
God.
wanted to, if I could just tack onto that really quick.
Oh,
Mark it, the
what a
panel
great
has gone
point.
off the
Thanks.
rails at 2:38 p.m. Calling it. No,
Maybe someone should escort Cole out of the building and
Try
back to
it.
Vancouver.
Try it.
This is why I love improv so much and why I love sketch comedy, because you're not limited to, I don't know, moving your face muscles, which is so natural to do. And when you're me, they just move all the time, even when you're not talking. And I always tell people too, like, improv and voice acting, I think, are so important to do together.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of my comedy friends, for example, like, they're all starting to do voice acting because of the panini, because they couldn't do anything else. So they would be like, Racquel, what do I do? And I'm like, listen, you came to the right person. But you need both. So I feel like if you're already doing improv, or you're already doing sketch comedy, you're doing characters, you're doing stupid things with your voice, and I say stupid with love, by the way, when you're doing stuff like that anyhow, you're already halfway there. You just gotta, like... I lost my train of thought. You could have interrupted a little bit sooner.
All right, hang on. I got something here. So for
Cooties
me,
doesn't count.
For me, I think that, and I think we've all kind of brushed against this somehow, but it's like the thing, I started doing theater when I was a kid, and then I transitioned into voiceover, and it felt really natural, because I think the thing that I love about acting is make-believe. And all the best voiceover actors, all the ones that I've seen work, the people that I look up to and continue to look up to, the people here, are all just marvelous pretenders. Like, we can pretend like we're falling down a cliff and doing all the things, and, you know, you know, like, that is fun, right? Like running around, and like, and that to me is something that I've never had that experience whenever I've done something on camera. When you do something on camera, it's like the trick is to make make it feel like you're not there. Whereas if I'm behind a microphone or if I'm performing in front of a bunch of people, my goal is to make them believe that I'm there, as opposed to like convincing myself that, right, okay, yeah, I'm supposed to be sad in this scene, as opposed to like, no, I feel sad because we've been doing this play for 95 minutes and this is the part where I'm sad. Or I've been reading this script with a bunch of other terrific voiceover actors, and now I'm playing. The on camera never feels like you're playing. On camera feels very intimidating and frightening to me, and I hate it. I hate it, and I'm bad at it. So give me a theater, give me a microphone. That's where I want to be.
So much longer.
Trained.
Why are you looking at me when you yelled that?
I don't know. I'm looking for validation. It will never come.
No. I'm giving it to you right now.
Thank you.
Let's have some
Thank you.
validation
Can I
for
switch
Cole,
seats?
folks.
For you! For you! I wish I had roses.
We should sing happy birthday to you.
Please don't.
No.
So I want to delve into evil characters versus good characters. I think I'm going to leave that for tomorrow because I want to open it up to the audience. So we have a microphone there. If you have questions for our wonderful guests, please form an orderly queue behind that. And
Luckrock, I thought you had a question.
if you pass your question on to Luckrock, just to make sure that it's okay for all ears, if you have an ADA pass or you're a kid, please go to the front of the line. And while folks are lining up and prepping their questions, let me ask how you got into MLP. Talk to me about the experience of booking MLP. You all came in around season 8, so it had become fairly big name in the Vancouver voiceover industry. And I think, Sunny, you'd been auditioning since season 5?
Season 5. And I brought every single character that I auditioned for, and I left it in my purse backstage. But season 5, I auditioned for 3 characters on My Little Pony and 3 characters in the Equestria Girls special. And then in season 6, I auditioned for 3 characters, and I got callbacks on 2 of them. And I auditioned for a bunch of Equestria Girl characters. And then in season 7, I auditioned for at least 3 characters and got callbacks. And I'm so glad for all of that rejection and failure, because then I got to be Cozy Glow in season 8.
Yeah.
It was a long journey.
Thank you. Katrina?
I've told this story before, and if you've heard it, sorry. But I remember watching like My Little Pony when I was in acting school and being like, this film's here, it's such a big show, it's my dream to get on this show. Like, I really, really, really like hope that this will happen. In my head, I'm like, this will never happen. I'm never gonna get on that show. Oh, yeah.
Not with that attitude.
But I did get on it.
That's right, because you got rid of that self-doubting talk.
Kind of similar to Sunny. I hadn't been auditioning since season 5. I think I started auditioning for the show in season 7. And, didn't get the roles. And at the time, you're like, no, And then I remember getting the audition for Yona, who was Yana at the time, and Ocellus, and Smolder. So I had to go in for all 3.
Your Smolder would have been really good.
I think it just sounded like a little boy, which is fine, but it just wasn't what they wanted. They were all fun, and they were great. Yona definitely was the one that I connected to most, though, and I remember watching season 5 back at the Yak episodes to be like, what do they sound like? Okay, how do I gotta do my research here. And then I got the call at like 10 p.m. on a Friday the 13th that I booked it.
Whoa.
Yeah, I know. They're lucky for me, I guess. And I was so excited. And it all worked out because I love Yona so much, and I can't imagine voicing anyone else on the show.
And I think we're all very glad that you did, yes? And that Sunny voiced Cozy Glow, folks? Oh, come on. There we go. Racquel and Cole, do you want to share how you booked Pony, and then we can go to our questions? It looks like we've got some lined up.
Absolutely. Like I mentioned, I auditioned for it before it was even a thing. And every year since, even after it came out, I auditioned for My Little Pony. It was always My Little Pony auditions. And I'll be honest, I have not watched the the episodes that I would have auditioned for, but a lot of evil ponies, a lot of like raspy ponies, because nobody wanted this back in the day. I'm being so serious. Anyways, but I remember just always auditioning for My Little Pony. And then when I guess it was a few years ago now, 4 years ago, timing is meaningless. When that happened, I remember there were 3 characters. There was Kerfuffle, another one I don't remember that an accent was required for, and one where there was no accent for. And I got a call back for the one that did not have an accent in Rainbow Road Trip, and I thought, great, because I am terrible at accents, very bad. And then I went in for the callback, and the director was like, okay, here's the notes from whoever, and they said they thought, interesting accent, more of it. And I was like, wait, what are you talking about? And it turns out there was a massive miscommunication. Oh, no. And I had a callback for Kerfuffle, and I was like, no, I don't know how am I supposed to just do that? So they gave me 15 minutes to find it, and I did, and I was not expecting, it was like a big, wow, I have been auditioning for this for years, and I booked a thing I didn't think I could do. And I also sang, which is another thing where I'm like, why do you want this? But it's very, well, saying it out loud, I'm like, I guess that is pretty special. I didn't think, that here we are. Am I drunk all of a sudden? Did you hear that? I just like, Mom. Thank you.
Very briefly, it was The White Whale. I wanted to be on that show so badly. Yeah, I wanted to be on that show so badly, and I auditioned a bazillion times in my closet, and just like desperately being like, what do they want from me? I don't understand. I'm trying. And then I went in and I got a call back, and I remember I was leaving Dick and Rogers that day, and I ran into
studio.
Yeah, and I ran into Ashley Ball, and I was like, I want to be on the show so badly. And she was like, you'll get on the show. And I was like, oh my God, Ashley said I'll get on the show. And then I booked Terramar, and it was the perfect part because my parents got divorced, and I realized that I hadn't seen much of that representation in my children's media growing up, and it splashed over me after I was leaving the session, because the build up to it, I was just like, oh my God, hooray, I get to work, I can pay rent. But then afterwards, I was going home, and I was like, man, that's really special, and it just hasn't stopped being increasingly special, which is rare, because so often with voiceover work, it's like, I was happy to do it, I hope people enjoy it, I hope the check clears, and then, but with ponies, it just kept getting cooler and cooler. Like, this is sincerely one of the coolest experiences of my life to be here, and like, this is an absolute joy, so.
Gift that keeps on giving.
Totally.
Well, on that note, let's open it up to audience questions. So please step forward and, if you like, introduce yourself and ask your question.
Robert. My name's Robert.
Hi.
Racquel, you worked in the continuity department?
So I worked in the continuity department?
Yeah.
No, I don't even know what continuity is.
Just making sure that each frame is correct to a previous one to make sure in previous episodes?
Oh, no, I've never done that. Are people saying that?
Well, it seemed like it was a big problem in My Little Pony in the earlier stages, and I thought you were in that department.
Oh, no.
No, you weren't?
That's a
You have
future
to blame
career
somebody
trajectory
else
for
for
you.
that one.
She'd be terribly miscast in that role.
Yeah, I would be, as someone who just learned what continuity is, I would suck at it. Yeah. No, thank you for, should I just lie and say that yes, I have? I think I will, thank you.
Convince us.
Sorry.
Thank you for your question. Next up.
Yeah, hello, I'm J-Mac, and you may all comment, but this is specifically for Katrina.
Ooh.
Is wondering how you feel about the fact that the Gen 5 movie has no yaks in it, and do you expect to see them in the spring with the series?
I have a confession. I still need to watch the Gen 5 movie. I'm planning on doing it. I'm planning on doing it tonight. I promise.
Security. Right.
I know. I did watch the trailer, though, and I think Kamiko Glenn sounds so cute, so I'm really excited to watch it. It upsets me, though, but you know what? I'd probably be even more upset if they were in the movie and they didn't contact me. So I'm just praying that, my agent calls me and is like, guess what? And then I can't tell you guys for like a few years, but I'll be like, You'll see me like posting happy GIFs on Twitter. So yeah, I'll watch it and I'll let you know tomorrow.
Hi, so I got 2 questions. One for Racquel. For the Rainbow Road Trip movie, when I first saw it, I thought, they're trying to do a Minnesotan accent. Is that what you guys were actually going for?
Okay, hold on. So I can't take credit for that. Well, no, I won't. The breakdown, I remember it saying Minnesota-like accent. And then when I was trying to get into it the day of the callback, the director was like, have you seen Fargo? Just do a couple of, oh, geez. And I was like, okay. So I'm like watching Fargo. Does that answer your question?
Oh yeah, you betcha.
I don't know what I was going for, to be honest.
And although I will say I am a Wisconsin native myself, but that brings me to my next question. What is your favorite cheese for everyone?
Oh, okay, brie. Brie. I finished a whole thing of brie. No, you all need to know this. I finished my first night in my new place. I bought a big thing of brie and I ate the whole thing, and I didn't even feel bad about it. The next day, my body was awful, but brie. It's always brie. I love cheese.
Anyone else want to take that question?
Yeah, I see your brie, and I raise you, and oh, my French is terrible. Port, S-A-U-L-T. Salt?
Salut.
Porte salut.
Porte salut.
The Canadians got
Je
my
peux
back
parler
on this
français.
one. Or salut. Or a nice squeaky cheese curd.
I was gonna say squeaky cheese curd. Now
You
I'm
can
bleeding.
share my answer.
Squeaky cheese curd.
I mean, yeah,
Don't you take squeaky cheese curd.
no, I think.
You take brie, I swear to God.
No. The way I'm thinking about this question is if I could only have one type of cheese for the rest of my life, for the rest of my time on this planet, I would probably say like a good Salt Spring Island goat cheese. I love goat cheese, love some chèvre. You can throw that in a salad and all of a sudden it becomes palatable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi. My question is for Sunny. So when you first auditioned when you got the Cozy Glow, I was wondering, did you immediately realize that she was supposed to be just like Darla Dimple from Cats Don't Dance, or did you not know that?
Okay, never heard of Darla Dimple from Cats Don't Dance until I started going to pony conventions, and everyone's like, well, obviously she's Darla Dimple, and I'm like, yeah totally. No, the direction was like Shirley Temple, who Darla Dimple is based on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wondered.
So for those of you who might follow Sunny on Instagram, she does these Trivia Tuesdays. And I fail at them miserably, but I like them. So I thought I'd just see your knowledge of early pony. So I'd like you all to take a shot of what year did the original My Little Pony toy line come out. And for bonus points, if you can name any of the original 6 toys released.
Like the original.
Okay, because
Yes,
Rarity was...
OG.
No, Spike was original. I feel like the original toy line came out in 1982.
I want to hear from all of them.
1982 for the original toy line, and Moon Dancer was an original toy.
I'm gonna say 84.
I'm gonna Price is Right you, and I'm gonna go 83.
Guess who's gonna say 82? No, I know that Rainbow Dash was a thing back when I was like very little because my older cousin had a bunch of Rainbow Dash toys. No, 1985. Did someone say 85 already?
No.
I will say 85.
Sunny was correct, 1982. Moon Dancer was on the original show, but she was not one of the first 6 toys.
What? Wait, what?
Oh my God, Homelander.
What were the first 6 toys?
Snuzzle, Butterscotch, Bluebell, Minty,
Oh, yeah,
Blossom,
Minty.
and Cotton Candy.
Minty.
We've all
little
learned something
green
today.
mix.
I just thought that'd be fun.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Next up.
Right. Hey, so I don't know if you guys ever have like times in your jobs that's like more difficult or stressful than other times, and if so, what do you do to like unwind and relax and stuff?
Cry?
I'm from Wisconsin, so I just drink a lot.
honestly, like having a really good group of friends and people in your life that you can,
That's my real answer. Yeah.
talk to afterwards and just like have your say of like what you think happened or what went wrong, and then what you can do better next time. And that helps you kind of get through it and prepare for next time as well. That's what's helped me through any days like that.
Yeah, I think for myself, I love like having groups of friends, absolutely, and played a lot of like Dungeons and Dragons, which is great. Yeah, great excuse to get together with a bunch of people and just play make-believe, which again, is my favorite thing to do. The hardest part of this job is when you're not working.
Yeah.
When you're working or you got something to look forward to, it's like it's a dream. But man, those cold, quiet months, oh boy, yeah.
Winding down for me, I love a good glass of wine, but I also just like sitting next to like my mom. That sounds so lame, but I really thank you. No, and I miss her a lot because I can't do this because I live across. Do I live across the country from my mom? Oh, sucks. But I just like sitting, like even when I didn't live at home, if I had like a terrible day, because comedy can really, I would just go to her house and I would sit next to her on the couch and she'd be sleeping and it was like, oh, I just like this. Ew, I'm getting emotional. Don't look at me.
If you can get through a convention without crying, you have a heart of stone.
Well, we'll see. I didn't cry yet.
All right, thanks for coming.
Oh, that was loud.
Good afternoon, everybody. You know what? I'm just going to project because I'm 6.4, and if I go any further down, it's like, It is so nice to see all of you and just everyone in general back. I have missed this so much. So, really fun question for everybody. What is your go-to karaoke song?
Oh!
Great question, Balto.
I just spit everywhere.
So heavy metal.
Anybody else have one?
Yeah. Man, I Feel Like a Woman by Shania Twain.
All right.
Or I really love, I don't know, like A Moment Like This. That's my new one by Kelly
Nice.
Clarkson.
That's hard.
I think You Ought to Know by Alanis.
Oh,
I'd crush that one. Or Kickapoo by Tenacious D. Crush that song.
Nice.
Can we do tribute at some point?
Absolutely.
Yes, thank you.
I miss karaoke so
good.
badly. Every time I go to karaoke,
Yeah.
someone in the back is like, musical theater, kid.
Mine is What's Up by Four Non Blondes or Roxanne.
Ooh.
Really? Yeah.
I don't do karaoke, but I like to think it would be Redneck Woman by Gretchen Wilson.
Okay.
It's my favorite kitchen song.
Nice.
I make my
Thank you,
family.
everyone.
I make my family every year on my birthday do karaoke
Nice.
in my living room. This is fun.
I'm just checking the schedule for when the pony karaoke is, since I know that there is some this
Tonight.
It's tonight. Lovely.
I'm so sorry.
So I think we have time for one more question, and then folks in line, we do have a Q&A after the script reading tomorrow, so please do come, and we'll make sure we get your questions answered then. So last question there, please.
Hey, everybody. I just wanted to say, my comment is for Cole. Just want to say thanks for your work on the show, because my parents separated when I was young, and it's just really so meaningful to let kids know that you don't have a place with one or the other. You belong. You'll have a family, even if it's not together. So,
Well, thank you for that. I will say that when I, again, like as I said, like this show is truly, it just did keep giving. And I remember after the episode had aired, first episode that Terramar was in, a little while later, I got a message from my agent. She's like, "You got a fan mail." I was like, "Pardon me? That can't be right." And I went in, and it was a young person from Arizona, and they wrote similarly, that they appreciated what I did, and they appreciated the character. And of course, all credit goes to the writers. But it was, again, an incredibly meaningful experience for a lot of reasons. And I sincerely appreciate you saying that. Thank you. Yeah. And great hat, by the way. That's a killer hat. Go Pack! Yeah.
Well, on that beautiful note, let's have another huge round of applause for our guests of honor. Cole Howard, Katrina Salisbury, Racquel Belmonte, and Sunni Westbrook.
And a round for Foley as well.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm staying standing up.
In half an hour in here, we're going to have Hooves Line, so that's going to be great fun. Racquel, are you planning on? Wow, you all right back there?
Everyone's okay.
My Yona plushie made it.
We all right? No.
I was just going to ask if you planned to drop in on Hooves Line since it's improv, but
There's an improv thing happening?
in half an hour in this room.
What? I think I'm doing something. Next time.
Next time. All right. Thank you all very, very much.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
Be safe, take care. We'll see you out there. Woo!